Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video on the channel where today we are into the most meta defensive midfielders. I know you dudes have been looking forward to these videos returning, but we are back today with the most meta CDM'S in FIFA 20. So if you do enjoy this series and you do want to see the next episode, which I think will probably be the wingers, make sure to do drop a thumbs up on the video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button as well if you are new to the channel and finding the content useful. But starting off with the number 5 position, I've actually gone for Axel Witsel. Now this guy, maybe not someone that you see too much anymore. Maybe a few people have outgrown him, but if you're someone that maybe hasn't got the top tier players yet, this guy is incredible. Look no further for a good CDM. 4-star skills and 4-star weak foot, 6'1", which is perfect. Very good short passing, reaction, stand tackle, and ball controller is top stats. 1v1 defending Witsel is really good this year. I think these kind of players, these really kind of like 6'1", these big bulky, tall guys, they're quite difficult to get past. Good interceptions from Witsel. Powerhouse is probably a good way to describe him. He's a good powerhouse in midfield. It's difficult to get beyond. He's pretty strong as well. Even though his in-game stat doesn't suggest he's going to be a bull in midfield, he feels quite strong. He's difficult to get past. Only negatives I would have on this Witsel is low acceleration. He hasn't got the best acceleration, so he can feel, and his low balance, so he can feel a little bit heavy sometimes. He can feel a little bit clunky, especially if you do get beat. Trying to recover with him and trying to recover and get back in position can be a little bit difficult because he doesn't have the best acceleration and balance, so he can feel a little bit heavy in midfield. But other than that, I think he's a really solid CDM. I don't think you can go too wrong with having Witsel in your team. I think probably a shadow is probably the best chem style for him if you want to improve that acceleration. Probably a shadow will be the best way to do that. So I think a shadow will be the best chem style for Witsel. Number 4, I've actually gone for Moussa Sissoko. Now I think Sissoko this year is the guy who plays so much better than his card suggests. He doesn't have like incredible stats anywhere. I mean, he's got pretty good pace and his physicality is very high. But other than that, the rest of his card is quite average. But he seems to be extremely popular this year. I've actually used him a little bit recently at the minute, and I can see why people use him. 3 stars, 3 star, 6'2" again. That really kind of like a big build, midfielder. The way I'd probably describe Sissoko, he's a bit of a cheap Pogba. I think that's kind of how I'd describe him. He's got similar traits to Pogba. He's got pretty good pace, very high physicality. Obviously, Pogba's got much better passing and dribbling, but he kind of feels a little bit like a cheap Pogba. Very high stamina, as I said, good strength, good aggression and sprint speed. 80 pace in the midfield is pretty high, so I think that's one reason why a lot of people use him, especially for the price that you pay for Sissoko. But I think the thing that probably that stands out most with Sissoko is he makes so many interceptions. His legs seem to be huge. He seems to just stick his leg out so many times and the ball will just stick to his leg. He makes incredible interceptions. So he definitely feels like the card this year that for a low rated, a bit like Chris Smalling did, in previous years. Nainggolan every year is another example. Funnily enough, Nainggolan's not on this list, but Nainggolan, if you've got that 85 inform Nainggolan, Jesus, you are so lucky, because that is another card that is an incredible CDM this year in FIFA. But the only disadvantages on this Sissoko card, I'd say the high work rates. Sometimes he can get out of position having that high attacking work rate, and again, like Witsel, he doesn't have very good agility and balance. It is pretty poor, so he can feel a little bit heavy on the ball. He kind of gets past it a little bit because he does have much better like sprint speed and acceleration than Witsel, but he still has quite poor agility and balance, so he can feel a little bit sluggish at times. In terms of chem styles, a shadow if you want to give him even more pace and improve that defending, or if you're happy with his pace, powerhouse to upgrade his defending and his passing. Number 3, I have gone for Allan. This guy is so good. Someone that you don't maybe see too much in FIFA, and I think that is down to, as you can see, one of his disadvantages, or his only disadvantage that I could find with Allan. He's quite difficult to link up. I think the only way you could really link him up is maybe if you had like a couple of Brazilian icons, if you had Socrates or Ronaldinho. But other than that, if you don't have icons, he's quite difficult to link up. And the thing is, if you've got 2 or 3 icons surrounding him, chances are you can probably afford an icon defensive midfielder, which we have at the end of the video, so stick around for that. Yeah, but Allan is still a very good DM. If you want to use Allan, you're going to be getting one of the best. 5'9", 94 stamina, that god tier stamina, 90 aggression, 89 reactions, and 89 interceptions. Perfect work rates, medium high work rates. I'd say in terms of interceptions, I'd probably say he's got to be one of the best interceptors of the ball. He makes so many interceptions. He just, again, a bit like Sissoko, he just seems to intercept practically everything. God tier stamina, incredible defensive stats. As I said, the only negative with him is that it is a little bit hard to link up. In terms of a chem style, I'd probably say Shadow is the best one. Possibly an anchor to improve his defending and physical even more. But I think his physicality is already pretty high, so I probably would say Shadow is maybe slightly the better chem style for Allan. Number 2, I have gone for Frenkie de Jong. Now, interesting story with de Jong, man. This guy is just that player that I just hate playing in this FIFA. You know, everybody has those players where they think, man, I just cannot play against this guy. You know, for me, as already mentioned, that Nainggolan is one of those players for me. That informed Vieira is just one of those cards that I just grit my teeth every time I see it, because every time I play it, it just seems to get the better of me. And this Frenkie de Jong is another card, man. That is one of those cards that I've never really owned. Like, I've owned him, I've tried him out, and he's incredible, but then I've always gone back to someone else. But this guy, man, every time I play him, he's just such a problem for me. And you look at his card, and he doesn't on face value look like the best CDM. You know, he doesn't have the best defending, he doesn't have the best physicality. But as I said, we play with this de Jong card, and he just feels incredible. You know, his passing is so good. You know, compared to everyone else on this list, he's got far better passing and dribbling than any other CDM on this list, and he can match them all for pace. But it's just that defending and physical that lets him down. But it doesn't seem to be a problem. He just seems to intercept everything. Anytime you think I've made a good pass there, he just seems to be like, nope, you haven't made a good pass because I've got it, but I've got the ball. You know, he just seems to intercept everything. And as I said, the fact that he's got such good passing and dribbling means he's able to carry the ball well, means he's able to always connect with a teammate once he's intercepted the pass. So he just seems to pretty much be just perfect for this game. You know, he seems to suit the game so well. The only disadvantage is that average defending and physical, but you can upgrade that, as I said, with the best chem style, which I think possibly would be a Sentinel. I probably, if it was me, I would probably stick a Sentinel on him and give him better defending and physicality, because he doesn't need an improvement in passing and dribbling. You could just whack a Shadow on him and just leave the physicality as it is, but I would probably go for a Sentinel. But this de Jong card, man. And number 1, I have gone for N'Golo Kante. The thing is about this top 3 list, where I've gone for Kante 1, de Jong 2 and Allan 3, they could kind of be in any order. It's difficult to say Kante is better than de Jong or Kante is better than Allan. I just think with Kante, being French as well, he's probably a little bit easier to link up in most people's teams. De Jong, obviously, you can link up fairly well if you did have a Messi, or if you've got Longley, you can link him up. But I think Kante, being French, is maybe a little bit easier to link up. And my personal choice, if I was personally picking a top 3, if I was picking a best CDM, I would probably pick Kante for my team. In terms of his best stats, you can see 97 stamina, that fucking god tier stamina, man. That is incredible, 90 stamina. He never gets gassed in games. You can play on a press and this guy still will carry on running for you. He'll give everything. 93 reactions, 92 balance and 92 interceptions. And again, I think that's probably the best trait on this Kante card. He just seems to intercept everything. You feel like you make a good pass and he just seems to always get there. But I think the difference with Kante compared to some of the other guys in this list is he's very agile, you know, so he's able to get across the ground really quick. You know, some of the other guys have got like good interceptions, but they maybe don't have the best agility and balance, so they can kind of sometimes feel a little bit sluggish when they're trying to get across the ground. Whereas this Kante card is really agile. You know, he's got really good agility, really good balance, and he just seems to get across the ground really well and intercept so many passes. In terms of negativity, maybe his height only being 5'6". I think sometimes when I've played with Kante and I come up against a Pogba or a Sissoko or a Patrick Vieira or someone like that, he can feel a little bit overpowered, and again, that low strength is a bit of an issue. I think Kante is perfect for obviously intercepting passes if that's your game. If your game is to intercept passes, if you're kind of like a really aggressive player and you want to be in people's faces, maybe not the best player to use because he has that low strength. But other than that, I think for me, Kante has to be the best gold CDM this year again in FIFA. But going on into that icon, and this guy, Patrick Vieira, is better than everyone in this game. You want a proper CDM, get Patrick Vieira. This is the guy that I'm saving up for in my team. Absolutely flawless CDM. The one guy that I probably would say in FIFA that whenever I got him in my team, like for example, I got him in my team last year, and you just kind of go, this guy is different. You know, all the other guys, Kante, De Jong, Allan, Sissoko, Witsel, they're all great. They're all, don't get me wrong, they're all great. This guy is just different level, and it's hard to explain. You kind of have to use him to understand that this guy is different level. He has no flaws whatsoever. You know, you can see his top 4 attributes all in the 90s. He's so strong, you just never seem to be able to push him off the ball. He just seems to be so powerful in the air. His positioning, he's always in the right place. He makes better interceptions than anyone else in this game. You know, Kante makes incredible interceptions, but this Vieira just seems to make even more. Just seems to be a wall. You just do not seem to be able to get past this guy. Incredible strength, again 81 pace, so he's got high recovery pace. You know, whack a shadow on him and he's got what, like 92 pace. He's flawless, this Vieira card. The thing is about this Vieira card is, even when someone does get beyond him, they panic because he's got the pace to be able to recover and get back and be straight into a tackle. So the guy will panic. He'll maybe panic a pass or panic a shot, and your defender might be able to get in the way, or you know, he might not be able to place it well enough. But this Patrick Vieira is unlike any other CDM, possibly even any other midfielder, maybe other than Ruud Gullit in the game. He's just an absolute game changer. If you want someone to change the way your team feels, Patrick Vieira is definitely someone you have to work towards. He's someone that I'm trying to get at the minute. I'm saving up for, because I feel like I need to get this guy into my midfield to help me out a little bit. But this guy is next level. He is so good. But that is it going to complete for the best CDMs in FIFA. Let me know in the comment section if there's any other people that I did miss off the list. I know I talked big in this video about Nainggolan. If you've got that Raja Nainggolan, he's another one. I probably would slot that Nainggolan into the top 3 if I was using that in this list. But let me know any other players that I didn't mention in this list. Make sure you drop a thumbs up if you did enjoy, and hit that subscribe button as well if you are new to the channel. That's all today, guys. Have an awesome day. I'm out.